I was about to get into two. Cart was singing before I clicked record. You want to hit that note again for us?
Amen. Amen.
Nate man, Nate
Amen.
man.
Yeah.
We
Amen.
man, amen. Okay. Nate Ament is the recruit we want to talk about today. You may be familiar with Nate Ament's game, infamously from when he was playing 2 minutes off the bench for Team USA on the FIBA team recently with Jasper Johnson, Jordan
Gregory,
Fears.
Gregory. Looking
Yes.
back on it though, we know how we view Team USA.
Which is what? Oh, it's
Oh,
institutional.
it's
Yeah,
institutional politics all from top to bottom. We
got
know
you.
that. We
So
know
Nate
that now.
Ament is the victim of American politics. That's what I'm hearing
Yes.
now. Ament was at the Tatum Elite Camp. Apparently, everybody was at the Tatum Elite Camp, but he is much more of a forward than I realized. I kind of thought he was like a true big man. No, he's more of like a true forward. He looked like one of the most like NBA ready. I don't want to say NBA ready players, but like he looked like an NBA player frame wise compared to a lot of players at this camp. And the film is really good. You can go see some film of him at John Chep. But Amet has some recruiting updates in general. There's a lot of schools involved here. Per Jeff Borzello, I'm just going to read the tweet. Nate Ament continued his stellar play after a strong spring, vaulted him into the top 10 nationally. He's 6'9" long, can shoot it, had 19 and 12. He said UConn, Duke, North Carolina, Kansas, Kentucky, Virginia, Indiana, Tennessee, Arkansas, Louisville, and others were involved. Let me just make it known. Michigan is one of the others. Thank you very much. Talk to me on Nate Ament. It's the first time we've talked about him on this channel.
Yeah, so he was a guy who wasn't kind of in this 5-star range, right? Like he was hovering around it, but he obviously, like Borzello said, he's been incredible making Team USA on the circuit, obviously, and it's hard not to fall in love with a guy like Nate Amen because like the first thing I noticed when I was watching the film at the Tatum camp, I was like, this guy is standing eye to eye, maybe even taller than Jason Tatum. So he's like 6'9", right? And he's got like this kind of long, lanky frame. I've seen clips where like he's blocking shots, getting rebounds, and like taking 2, 3 dribbles and like hitting pull-up threes on the break. And that first opened my eyes. I was like, oh, this guy has a lot of abilities. And look, he's a guy who I think to me, he has a little ways to go to develop. Like I think to me, he's more top 10 nationally given what his potential could be. But with that said, even right now, he's a great player.
Yeah. Yes. He's also one of my favorite recruits in the country because get prepared. The Nate Ament sweepstakes are officially a thing. You can trademark that. Every school in the country wants this kid. And I think he's one of those kids that has like risen up the rankings so much. He's kind of just stepping back and enjoying it. Like if you read the On3 update on Ament from this week, here's some quotes from him. He said, I'll probably take most of these visits after the summer. Wait till the students are back on campus, football games, see how things are moving. Like this man's ready to take some trips, and he wants college students to be there when he takes the trips. He wants to be wine and dine. He's going to be wine and dined by a bazillion schools. He talked about all these schools in the On3 update, but he wants to visit Indiana. He said since Dusty May's been hired, Michigan's been after him hard. Louisville, Tennessee, both possibly getting visits, LSU, and then all the Blue Bloods. And he literally, when he talks through the Blue Bloods, he just says, yeah, I want to see all the Blue Bloods. Like, this is an actual quote from him. We've talked about going to Virginia September 1st. We haven't locked anything in, but we're going to do that soon. We're also talking with the Blue Bloods.
I love
Everybody wants him. UConn, North Carolina, Duke, Kentucky, Kansas are all after him. How do you like make sense of all these schools?
it. The thing that scares me the most is that Dan Hurley could convince this kid that he's the next four-man for UConn, and I think he'd be perfect for that. With
Yeah.
that said, everything that I've been seeing, and obviously, I'm a little more Big Ten lean, is that like Indiana feels really good about this guy. Like Indiana's like at his games 4 deep. There's actually a tweet from, I don't want to ruin his name. I think it's Jeff Rabjohns. He just stated that like Mike Woodson and his staff are 4 deep for these guys today. So
Yeah.
Mike Woodson is there for those wondering. Mike Woodson and his staff are there four deep to see Mullins, Sisley, Moreno, Nate Ament, as well as others. Um, any kid though that is referring to that he's going to be visiting Blue Bloods strikes me as a kid that's going to go to a Blue Blood.
Yeah.
Like he wants that.
I love Ament because he's a mystery. Because at the same time, he's talking like, "Yeah, I'm gonna see all the blue bloods. Wait till the kids are back on campus." He's also like, "Yeah, I want to visit Virginia." So like, this is like a mid-range aficionado who's like, "I need to see Tony Bennett offense," but then all the blue bloods. Like, this could end any different direction, and I'll be a fan regardless. I really like his game. I think he's deserving of all these teams coming after him, and it's going to be one of the most contested recruitments in the entire country for this next year. Car, you know what I love about you?
That I'm handsome?
You're reliable. I can count on you. Honestly, you remind me of Aaron Henry a little bit. Remember when their back was against the wall, nothing was going right, and man just showed up every day. He didn't make excuses. There were no problems. There were just solutions.
Sounds like me.
That's you. And it also reminds me of Duncan Mechanical Solutions, because if you're looking for quality furnace repair, look no further than the heating and air experts that you can trust. Comfort and quality are their standard. They're an HVAC company that serves Northeast Indiana and Southern Michigan, whether it's heating and air conditioning, plumbing, kitchen and bath remodeling, or emergency services when you need them most. Duncan Mechanical Solutions has reliable service that you can count on. Cart, remember when your basement almost exploded?
I remember when my basement almost exploded. I remember when my furnace itself was acting funny. I remember when my AC was acting funny. I wish I had Duncan in my back pocket. I wouldn't have to worry about it.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been anywhere in northern Indiana or southern Michigan that hasn't been perfectly cool or perfectly warm, depending on when the day called for. And that's because of Duncan Mechanical Solutions. They are the presenting sponsor for the month of July. Shout out to Duncan Mechanical Solutions. Go to duncanmechanicalsolutions.com to learn more.